Now, while at Ditomboro, Thinyugu encountered the Hakanyime, a Kwe clan also known to the as Handaramuve, or the cave sleepers. The Subia called them Durara Malindi. Now, among them was Mamuna, which means lioness, the matriarch of the clan. Thinyugu, the Chamo boy, married two of her daughters, Kashipe and Nengu. From Kashipe, 3 daughters were born, Mafiku, Mapindi, and Mwengere. But the 4th child was a son, the Hureratha Moronga, and here lies a spark of cultural fire. Remember I told you the Hambukushu are matrilineal, and the inheritance passes through the mother's line. Well, Thihurera is a son of a Kwe woman, which means he's considered a Mukwengo. Yet Thinyugu broke custom and named Thihurera his heir, and passed on the secret rainmaking medicine to him. Outrage followed. The Hakangondo saw this as a betrayal, a submission to Kwe blood. You can picture them screaming, Well, things got so tense that Thinyungu's brother, Dinyando, seized leadership of the Hakangondo and disavowed the young heir. But Thihurera would not be erased so easily. Upon Thinyungu's death, conflict erupted. Supporters of Dinyando and then supporters of Thihurera, who possibly believed that he's the one that inherited the rainmaking powers, or some say his mother Kashipe stole the sacred medicines, rallied behind him. At this time, a delegation of Hambukushu elders came from Mashi, and is said to have visited and counseled Thihurera to claim a place as heir. Thihurera acted, and in a dramatic stroke, he kills Dinyando and his family and throws their bodies into the Zambezi near Kazungula. This marked the beginning of what is called the Rain War.
Mayhem swept through the lands around Katima Mulilo, like a storm with no name. What began as quiet tension soon turned to open conflict. Village turned on village, tribe against tribe, kin spilled the blood of kin. At the heart of this unraveling stood the sacred power of rain, and the question of who would command. The rainmaking apparatus, once a symbol of harmony, had become a prize for power, political ambitions, ancestral pride, and fragile allegiances. Fumu Thinyugu and his people, bearers of a disputed legacy, found themselves surrounded by suspicion and resentment. Everywhere they turned, there were disputes, territory, tradition, and the very meaning of leadership. The ground beneath Katima trembled, not from thunder, but from the footsteps of those preparing for war.
Now, after this bloodletting, Thihurera took leadership. His followers now included the Hakangondo, although some left, Hakamusuma, Vamashi, and Hakanyime. Now, for the first time, we see the early stirrings of a unified Hambukushu identity, not by birth, but by allegiance, necessity, and vision. But peace did not last. See, the Rain War included some conflict between Thihurera and some Subia groups around the areas in Katima Mulilo. Now, the Louis Prince Mwanambinji, who now was the self-proclaimed overlord of the region, considered both the Subia and Hambukushu his subject. So to halt this violence, he is said to have banished Thihurera to Mutonga Island, where from about 1760 to 1770, Thihurera and his people lived there in exile, surviving on fish and foraging. And it was here on this lonely island that legend took root. A wild fruit, shrub called ngarakasha, which grew in abundance, and in their desperation, the people ate its sweet saving fruit, the mbukuhu fruit. And from this miracle, they took a name, Vambukuhu, the people of the Mbukuhu, or Hambukushu. Rain War wasn't just a succession dispute, it was a crucible in the union of clans, in the politics of marriage and exile, in the trauma and triumph of survival. We see the Hambukushu emerge not as a scattered migrants, but as a people, now with a name and a legacy. In our next episode, we'll follow Fumu Thinyugu to his near end, the beginning of a new coalition government of the Federation of the Hambukushu clans under Fumu Mashambo and Fumu Kathimana. Alongside these men were other strong Bukushu queens, Rukonga, who was very vital in the unification of the clans, and will follow wounded elephants to the west, where in search of a new home, this newly formed federation will confront new enemies, new landscapes, and new alliances. The river continues to flow, so does the story. Join me for the third episode. See you next time.
Shono!